Yo guys, welcome to my first ever spoiler talk video. Going to be talking about several stuff that happens in Godzilla King of the Monsters. Sorry, I know I missed out on the in my movie review previously. And also I'm gonna tell you my little prediction on what's gonna happen in the next sequel, Godzilla vs. Kong. Anyway, if you have not seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, you can check out my video review instead. It has no major spoilers there. Alright, first things first, I want to elaborate a few stuff I mentioned in my review as I couldn't do it there because I wanted to keep my reviews as spoiler free as possible. Okay, the nods to the original 1954 Japanese Godzilla film I was talking about were the oxygen destroyer, which the military used in an attempt to kill both Godzilla and Ghidorah. And the other nod is Dr. Serizawa's sacrifice. In the 1954 film, Daisuke Serizawa is the scientist who invented the oxygen destroyer, and he sacrificed himself to activate the bomb on Godzilla, who's the only monster in that story. But of course, in that film, Godzilla is the metaphor of nuclear bombing that happened in Japan during World War II. Godzilla causes destruction and tragedy, and he's almost unstoppable, much like the atomic bombs that were released by the US Army. That film has very strong anti-war themes, although it's very old, black and white film. I still appreciate it when I watched it just a few years ago. If you only like Godzilla films for the monster fights, I wouldn't recommend you to watch it at all. In Godzilla King of the Monsters, however, the humans decide to use nuclear bomb on Godzilla to give him power to save the world. I'm not sure what kind of message the movie was trying to convey. The other thing that I think I need to elaborate is the religious symbolism I mentioned. You know how Jesus Christ goes through betrayal, people didn't believe him, he gets crucified to death and then gets resurrected. Yeah, that's basically the same thing Godzilla goes through in the movie. And Godzilla's basically Goku as well, because he needed to borrow a lot of power from here and there before he got to defeat Ghidorah. When Mothra gets disintegrated by Ghidorah and her ashes sprinkle onto Godzilla, was that supposed to heal Godzilla or give him more power? I'm not sure if the movie indicated that. I'm not even sure why Mothra was willing to take a bullet for Godzilla. I never watched any Godzilla films featuring Mothra, but I heard she always dies and then there'll be another one that appears in the next movie. Maybe that's what's going to happen in this monsterverse as well. One of the strangest things that happens at the end is that it's revealed that Rodan have survived, which is really weird, I thought. No, I really thought that Mothra has pierced and killed Rodan during their fight, and now it just made it seem like Mothra didn't really do anything in this fight. And Rodan, he just got up like the injury was nothing, and he bowed to Godzilla at the end. So was he pretending to be dead? Also, if you guys notice, there's another Mutho in the film. I thought Godzilla have killed both of them in the first film. Could there possibly be another Godzilla as well? It's pretty confusing. The writing of the film is really bad. I don't even want to talk much about the shitty characters. Kyle Chandler's character, Mark Russell, is basically a Swiss Army knife. He could literally do everything, including advising the military and saving soldiers, my goodness. And Vera Farmiga's character's motives are dumb. She wants to release all the Titans simply because she wants their son's death to have meaning. And the son was killed because the monsters were fighting in the first film. And then she decides that it's a bad idea at the end, all in one movie. And the other minor characters being sarcastic and cracking cheeky jokes when they're in super dangerous situations. Seriously, if I didn't like the monster action and visual effects so much, I could have easily hated this film. And thankfully, the Titans have more personality than Michael Bay's Transformers. Look, the first film's surviving characters, the Brodies, aren't great. Bryan Cranston's character is probably the best one in that film, but he is oddly written off halfway through the story. But even then, the Brody couple made more sense and is easier to relate to than these Russells. It's a shame that Brody's didn't return for this sequel for the payoff for all the wasted screen time they used to develop them in the first film. Ah yes, I almost forgot. I also mentioned in my review that the story is sort of similar to Netflix's Godzilla anime film trilogy. The setting in the anime is very different, but the character arc of the protagonist is very similar to Carl Chandler's character. He hates Godzilla for some personal reason, but at the end of the story, he sort of concedes the need for Godzilla's existence. Godzilla also goes through similar struggles in the anime. People want to destroy him, but they end up needing him to get rid of the alien threat that is Ghidorah. If you don't mind the lack of good monster action, I would recommend you to watch this anime trilogy. The story is more complex, compelling, and the characters are better fleshed out. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? Alright, the post-credit scene. Tywin Lannister buys the head of Ghidorah. Ghidorah can regenerate, so I think it will return in Godzilla vs. Kong, which is the next installment in the Monsterverse. So here's my prediction of what will happen in the next sequel. All the titans who bowed to Godzilla at the end will probably be his allies, and then King Kong might have his own team of creatures from his island. They fight and then they realize the true enemy is actually Ghidorah, who don't belong on this planet. So at the end, they work together to defeat Ghidorah, the end, and then the post-credit scene will reveal the government building Mecha Godzilla. And that might be the teaser for the next sequel. I hope my prediction will be completely wrong because I prefer to be surprised. And I guess that's it for my first ever spoiler talk segment video, whatever you call it. Comment below and let me know if I missed out on any key spoilery talking points. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it if you could give this video a like and a share. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.